ways. So you can say it however you want to, whatever makes you feel happy, whatever pleases you the most. But welcome back to the podcast. It has been a minute since we've had a full episode, but we're back. I did take last week off. Cry. Just kidding. I'm sorry. But there is some news this week. The news being we have snow. It snowed a couple times this week. At first, it didn't really stick, which was kind of annoying because, if you lived in Reno for a long time, and I know a lot of you haven't, but if you have, you would know that when the snow actually comes in the beginning, it never really sticks. And especially because how we have weather that never genuinely stays stable or does what the weathermen say, we never end up getting what we want. And so we don't know what to plan for. I didn't know what to plan for. I didn't even have one of those snow scrapers for my car. So I had to use some old pants that were in my car, some swim shorts, and I had to wipe off the snow from the back of my car, and I looked like a fool. And while that wasn't convenient or what I was expecting or wanting to do, I got it done. And luckily my car does have some nice defrosters that work pretty well. It has the kind where it comes out of the lines that are on the back of your window. And while it might take a little bit of time to actually kick in, when you actually get it in, it works pretty well. I think the only complaint I have is my car doesn't have back windshield wipers. I think a lot of cars don't these days, but mine in particular is unfortunate because I do not have a cover in my apartment. So my place does not cover what I have. My car remains exposed from all of the surrounding things. It's not covered by a roof type of deal, so it just sits outside and chills. And the unfortunate part of that is it's more likely to get snow on it, rain on it, and get dirtier. It kind of sucks, but at the same time I'm saving money, so it's not that big of a deal, especially because I have an unlimited car wash deal where I can go to the car wash however much I want. I've literally gone to the car wash 4 times in a day before, just because I would go to a road trip halfway through. But I did it and I didn't spend $1. That's the point. Anyways, got distracted. I'm just noticing that the Aces Stadium lights are on again. I don't know when baseball season ends or starts again, but I know they're not necessarily considered the main baseball people that do baseball season stuff. But I always loved seeing their stadiums on because usually it means there's fireworks later at night. I don't know if that's the case tonight because there was a lot of snow 2 hours ago. But you know what? Maybe there is not. I am a little bit upset because the snow did end, and I didn't want it to end, but it did end. And the problem about the snow ending is that I feel like I can't drive already, and I feel like there's not enough snow to justify that. And so I personally want the most snow I can get, especially because I'm trying to get into the holiday vibes, and I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time listening to music, and I'm having a really, really, really hard time enjoying Christmas music, trying to dive right into, all I want for Christmas is you. I'm trying to, but it's hard. It's hard. And it's unfortunately pretty stressful. And what else is stressful is on my left monitor, I am watching from AP News the results of the election, which is today. I would tell you to vote, but it's over, so you can't really vote now. But if you can vote now somehow, and I'm being really stupid, please do vote. You should vote. Vote, VOTE, that's how you spell it, so vote. And while I say I'm looking at election results, they're not the Nevada election results because I think polling is still open right now. I think those close closer to 9 at night. I could be wrong, and I could be really stupid, but that is my prediction. And they have to count them, and I couldn't imagine being a poll counter because I would lose track. I would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I get to 1,000 and then forget where I was. So unfortunately I could not be a poll person, and also I will not be a good jury duty person because trust me, and that is just me letting people know I would not do good at jury duty. So if you are considering sending me to jury duty, do not do it. Okay? Sounds like a plan. So I just bonked my desk. I'm sorry. I got distracted again. But this was my first time voting because last time we had an election was in 2020 and I wasn't of age. I was 17 and I really wanted to vote. But I kept telling everybody, vote for this person, vote for this person, vote for this person. I was a very pushy person on voting because I couldn't vote. And so I really wanted to make sure people voted for me. And a lot of my family did, which makes me really happy. And they supported my vote. So I accomplished my plan and I did succeed. And with that being said, I would say that since this is my first election, I am upset. Why am I upset? Because I couldn't get a sticker. All I wanted was a sticker, but since I did the little mail-in ballot and I couldn't even like go in person and stand in the line, I didn't want to do that. But since I couldn't, I didn't get a sticker. Like, can they at least mail me a sticker? A little I voted sticker? I would love that. Please send me an I voted sticker. That's all I want. Is it too much to ask for? A little I voted sticker. I took my pen and I filled in the bubbles and I filled it all out. I did all the instructions. I read through it. I did all of the work just to not even get a sticker. That is so disappointing, and I'm going to cry because all I wanted was an I voted sticker. I used to see my grandma go vote, and she would get these I voted stickers, and I was like, oh my god, I want an I voted sticker. And here I am voting. My old booty is voting now, and they did not give me a sticker. I'm so mad. Anyways, I am so excited because I haven't seen a map before in a long time. I sound really bad. I haven't seen like a voting political election map in a while now. It's been 2020. And so seeing it again is reminding me of all of the fun quirkiness of it. And I'm so excited to see my heart rate go up and get pizza again, because last election I got pizza and I watched the chaos ensure, and I myself will love to be doing that again. I personally find great enjoyment in doing that. I find great enjoyment in watching the elections go on and sitting at home not doing anything and acting like I'm making a big difference in the world. But since I'm not, and I'm just eating pizza in my room, what's the worst that could happen? You know, somebody loses, you know, I don't know. There's a lot of candidates this year, and a lot of them are promoting really hard in certain websites that I work for and bothering me quite a bit. But other than that, I do love them as a person, and I do love their political stance. I'm being a bit too specific here on my stance and political state. I am a stutterer today. I went to therapy today and I could not stop stuttering. I am apologizing for that. Also in the news, in case you didn't know, my book is out. 3-Letter Lovers is out now. It's a little bit of a tongue twister sometimes for me. I'm like saying it and then I get stuck and then it sounds really weird. But it's available ebook, paperback, and hardcover. It's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, kind of anywhere you buy books. It's available internationally, so like people in like Germany are buying it, and that's really, really cool. But yeah, if you guys want to check out the book, it would mean a lot. I've been working really hard on it and it's finally done. I sent in the files like before I announced the book, so I'm really excited that it's finally yours to read. It's also scary that it's yours to read now, but I hope you'll enjoy it. I'm doing a book signing event on Saturday at the Radical Cats, which is my first ever book event and first ever like event made for something I made before. So this is really exciting. I've never created something and then had a whole event ready for me to do and attend and go to and create and share my work with. It's kind of crazy and kind of scary and quirky, but it's going to be fun, I hope. And I hope I don't fall or I don't cry or something like that, but I'm excited. And yeah, with that being said, you know, we've got a crazy week going on. We got snow, the elections, you know, people have been voting in the Joe. I had to do some photography there today, and there was a lot of people there. And that's great. There was a great turnout. There was a nice long line. Apparently some people were waiting in line for like 2 hours, which is crazy in my opinion, because if you're a student and you go there to vote, you probably didn't get in line thinking you would be there for 2 hours. So like you might have to leave like after an hour and a half of waiting because you have a class. That would be so disappointing. I would be so sad. That would make me very upset. But I know there's like other locations in Reno that were still close to UNR that you could vote, and it had a really small 5-minute wait time. So I am a little bit shocked, but at the same time, not really, because a lot of UNR students don't have a way to get around to these other places to vote. So if you did vote, thank you so much. I say that from the deepest heart open part of my soul. There you go. I'm very happy you voted, and I hope you'll vote in 2024, which is crazy. There's rumors that a certain somebody's announcing their bid soon. And just remember, just because it's a bid doesn't mean that they're going to take it. So also in the news, Taylor Swift has a tour. And guess what? I will fight. I will be on the ground screaming, kicking, crying. I will do so many things if they do not let me get the tickets to Taylor Swift's tour. I need a pit ticket. I need a good seat. And if it's not a pit ticket, I need the closest thing to that. Please. I take this so seriously. I didn't get to go to the Reputation tour due to circumstances. That was, you know what I meant. But due to those circumstances, I wasn't able to go to Reputation tour, and that makes me really upset. But this is an eras tour, meaning she's going to go through all of her eras, and she's going to sing a bunch of songs from like her whole career. And that's like the whole time I've been growing up, because I've been listening to her ever since Teardrops on My Guitar. So literally, I need to go to this. I will go and fight. I will fight for this seat. I will go kicking, screaming, and crying for these seats. Also in the news, there is a blood moon lunar eclipse. That is the last eclipse for North America until 2025. And it's interesting because every single time there's like the moon doing something, it's the last time the moon's going to be doing something for a long time. And so personally, I feel like I should care about it, but at the same time, I've seen the moon red like 8 times this year, I feel like, so I don't even know. Like, no offense. And also, there is so many clouds, I don't even think I'm going to be able to see it. I'm just going to see a giant red dot in the sky, and that's unfortunate. And my telescopes are really bad. I think I just have really bad branded telescopes. I have like a Galileo telescope. I have 2 of them, and my neighbor donated them to us. And personally, I hate to say this, neighbor, but they are not good. I know why you donated them to us for free. You're not slick anymore. They suck. And I'm so sorry that you could not lug that giant telescope home with you, because that thing is out of focus. I've tried to focus it. I've twisted the knob. I've twisted the knob so many times. I've adjusted it so hard, and it still will not work. And it's so frustrating because I want to see the moon. I want to see the little dots. I want to see all the little fun, little quirky little craters on the moon, but I can't see the craters on the moon because the telescope sucks. And it's so unfortunate. Anyways, that's just really sad, because I'll go on TikTok and there's this guy who points his like telescope. It's an expensive telescope, but he points it at the sky to like cool planets, and you can like see them like in really great detail. But honestly, I really thought telescopes would be a lot better than they actually are. Like, I've seen that guy who had a really expensive telescope, and while it looks really nice, at the same time, like for $4,000 seeing like the image and it looks like a 480p photo of the moon or like Saturn or something, it's like you could do better, I feel like, with telescopes. And no offense, how in the heck did Galileo see the moon with that little telescope? Because I would not be able to see anything with that little thing. All I can use is binoculars, and even I can barely even see distant with that. So I personally give massive props to Galileo for big brain, big eye power, 20/20 vision. What a king. I am shocked. I am quaking at the boots. He has changed the world over one long stick of glass. So thank you, Galileo. And that being said, I hope that this lunar eclipse is something important that I can see, because if it is cool and it is important, maybe I would like to see it. But looking outside, seeing the clouds, it doesn't look like it's going to happen, unfortunately. I do think that having to wait until 2025 sounds really far away, but it's not, unfortunately. And I'm going to get older, and when I think about it, how old am I going to be in 2025? In 2025, which is in 3 years from now, I'm going to be 22, 21. Yeah. So that's going to be fun. What am I going to be like when I'm old? I question myself that all the time, because I think the problem is I don't see old men who are really gay. Like, I don't see old men that have the gay voice. So I can't imagine being old, and then you just hear me, you're like, I'll be like, Sonny, come on. But like in an older tone. Sonny, that sounds, no, it sounds like an old man. You see what I mean? Like, what does an old gay man sound like? I don't know. I've never heard an old gay man speak. Have you ever heard an old gay man speak? Because if so, please tell me what they sound like. I'm curious. I would like to know. I have personally no experience with that, and I would like to know what I'm going to sound like when I'm older. And what am I going to look like? Am I going to look cute, or am I going to look really grinder old man vibes? Because I don't want to be a grinder old man. I hate to say it, but I really do not want to be one of those people. It's Grindr old men are so desperate, and it's not fun. And I know a lot of listeners don't exactly know how Grindr works, so I will give you a rundown. Grindr is a hookup app for gay people that is 2 straight people appearing to be like a gay Tinder, but it's kind of just not. And it is filled with old gay men that like to hook up with young gay men, and it's really suspicious. It's really weird. There's like no morals on there either. You kind of just have to like post your nudes and hope for the best, which is very dangerous and very unsafe and unsecure. I want to say insecure, but that's not the right word. But yeah, it's very dangerous and weird, and it's kind of addictive at the same time, which is kind of crazy to say considering what I just said. It's like, it's so bad, but it's so addicting and everybody loves it. And so I'm like, I don't know how to say this, but like when you download it, you kind of just realize that this is the only way you can talk to gay men, and so you're kind of just stuck doing it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like all you can do, and it's unfortunate, you know, it really is. So yeah, I just wanted to say, like, with Grindr, it's probably not the best idea to just dive right into it and try it out, because you're just going to end up getting hooked on it, and then it's going to blow up in your face and it's going to be a flop, and just trust me, it's not a good idea. Halloween went really well for me this year, to an extent. I just like counter reacted what I just said, but I got to dress up and I went to some fun little parties and I did some fun little things, met some nice people, and it was really fun. I really just enjoyed that time where I could celebrate Halloween without so much drama, I want to say, and not going to like frat parties, things like that. But unfortunately, the thing about Halloween this year for me was I partied like before the weekend, because it was a 3-day weekend, even though I always have a 3-day weekend because I don't have classes on Friday. But since it was like a 3-day weekend for everybody, there was like more parties and stuff on the weekend before. So I partied more before on the weekend, which was fun. But at the same time, it was weird because I didn't do anything on Halloween and the day before Halloween. So like it made the actual days of pretty bland. And that was a bit unfortunate. I will say that like I've enjoyed Halloween candy in the past, but I haven't really eaten Halloween candy in a long time, and I haven't gone trick-or-treating in a long time, and I've never gone to a haunted house in a long time because I'm a very scared person. I get scared very easily, and I don't want to get scared again, but I would take the risk. I would take the risk and dive right in and hope for the best, even though it will scare me to my core. So with that being said, I would say that my Halloween weekend went well, but it was also chaotic. And also with that, during Halloween weekend, I got to photograph Bernie Sanders at a rally event that he had for people to vote, and it was fun. I never photographed a event like that before, and it was really cool. The area was kind of weird. It was in a high school gym, and the whole setting and setup was kind of weird, kind of weirdly based, things like that, but it wasn't bad. It was fun. It was really entertaining, and I really enjoyed it a lot. And yeah, I would do it again for sure. For sure. Tonight, I'm really excited because The Crown comes out. And I know, there's British people that are very strict on The Crown because it's not a real documentary, which should be obvious considering that what recreation of history has ever been claimed to be a documentary. I don't think I can name one movie that is a biography picture that is like described to be a documentary. Personally, I can't describe it. That's the difference between a, movie biopic and a documentary, is one is real and one is fictionist. Anyways, since it's the literal royal family, I think they take it too seriously. But the funniest thing about The Crown is Princess Diana's involvement in the show. I mean, not her actual involvement, but her character's involvement of the show is so funny because it's like the thing that brought everybody in recently, and it's so big that when you look up The Crown on Google, it literally goes, the network is Netflix, the creator is Peter Morgan, and it shows the writers, and then Princess Diana, actress, and it's actress Elizabeth Debicki, and then it goes to awards and genres. Like, it's like the whole, like, Princess Diana is her own like role in itself in the show's creation, that it has its own little section in Google. It's literally hysterical. But I want you to know, and I'm going to take this very seriously, I have always taken The Crown very, very oh, did you hear that? Are you hearing that? I accidentally played the Crown trailer. I played it back and you did not hear that, but I'll keep it in. Princess Diana's involvement in The Crown is literally so good for me. Like, mental health. Like, literally, I know that sounds really bad, but when the Crown season 4 came out and they introduced Princess Diana in that show, my life changed. Like, that show was so good. I was quaking in the boots. I was so excited. I've been waiting years for that character to be introduced into that show, and when it finally happened, oh my god. And the portrayal was amazing. I was shook. I was changed. I think I personally, for like a month and a half or 2 months after I watched The Crown, every single time, and it's like a Princess Diana, like, new content of her in the show, I literally end up becoming more empathetic. And I know that sounds really bad, and I know it sounds really weird, but I will genuinely say that when I watch The Crown, it reminds me to do things more empathetically and to be more considerate. And no, not considerate, it just reminds me to take things in more, and I guess be more open and vulnerable. Yeah, I think vulnerable is the word I was looking for. So yeah, whenever I watch The Crown and whenever I see a portrayal of Princess Diana, I end up leaving it being more vulnerable to other people and more empathetic and risky and daring. And so I'm excited for this Crown to come out tonight, because I'm gonna be a whole new person. I'm gonna be showing up tomorrow in my little revenge dress and purring off, and it's gonna be the vibe. I'm not really showing up in my revenge dress. That was part was a joke. I unfortunately will say that The Crown new season does have bad reviews, and it's really frustrating because I do not know if it's bad or not, because, and this is why, okay, I'm being serious when I say this, I don't know if it's actually bad because the royal family has such a hit on this that I do not know if it's actually bad or if they're just saying that because the royal family has been pulling the show down. And I wish I could tell you the answer, but I don't. I really don't. I wish I could know if the show is good or not. And I guess I will find out tonight, and I will let you know in a review soon. I'm really excited. I will say, though, Elizabeth Debicki's portrayal of Diana is very unique from the trailers. It got a lot of controversy online, and while it is really good in some shots it's kind of not. And I was shocked because when I saw the paparazzi photos of like set pics and stuff like that, it looked dead on. And now that I'm like seeing some of them, like the more it comes out, like the more footage I see of it, I start to think like, maybe it's not as perfect as I thought it was. Not to say that she's going to do a bad job, because I couldn't do better. You know, I how many people can play Princess Diana and like actually pull it off? You know what I mean? And so I think that she, out of most people, would be giving it the best portrayal that she could out of all of them. And so I'm really excited to check it out and see where they go with it. I'm genuinely just so psyched right now for this show to come out. It comes out at midnight, and I don't know how I'm going to watch the whole thing tonight, because last season I binged it all in like one night. And I do that with Stranger Things too. But this time I'm going to watch a couple episodes tonight. I'm so excited. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just so stoked. I can scream right now. Oh my god, just the idea of getting a new Crown season is so exciting. When the last season ended, I was so excited for the next one. And you guys, if they actually like do that thing that, you know, if they show the death, I will be gone from internet and social media for a few times throughout the week. But I might be a little bit shattered, but I hope they don't. And I hope we don't get to that point yet in the show, because we're still in the early 90s in the show. And I'm just so excited to see how they portray this whole era. Literally, like, this era of Diana is so special and unique to me, because it's like very daring and brave and very vulnerable, and I'm just so stoked to actually see it, because I love Princess Diana. She's like my second favorite celebrity role model, behind Taylor Swift. And so sometimes I like think like, what would Diana do in this situation? And then I kind of base my stuff off that. And so I'm just really excited to see this. It's so exciting. So yeah, I am excited. Do you guys listen to The Crown? I would love to know. I personally adore this show. I hope they make more shows like it. When I say more shows like it, I mean I hope like the creator will do another show, or people who worked on the show will do something kind of similar to what The Crown is, but like with other situations. Maybe like a Hollywood version of The Crown, you know, with like a really crazy time in Hollywood, maybe like golden age of Hollywood or something like that. That would be really cool. that would actually be really interesting to have like Sharon Tate like in a new like Hollywood show or something, and having like Manson family and other hippies and like the whole golden age, Marilyn Monroe and all of them, JFK recreation. That'd be really interesting. That would be really, really cool. I would love for them to do something like that. And if not, then maybe like early 2000s, late 90s or something like that. That'd be really cool. The late 90s was really big with culture in Hollywood, so that'd be a really fun time to capture. I hope they do things like that when this show ends, because I know they're going to end it soon because they don't want to go too close to real life. So I am genuinely so excited. And you know what? I want to get Princess Diana hair. I'm going to look up what a guy with Princess Diana hair looks like. I have never seen that before, and I'm curious how it would work. Princess Diana male haircut. I'll just say that. Let's see if that works. I would love to see how that works, because that would be so cool. If I saw a guy wearing a Princess Diana haircut, I would jump. Oh yeah, George Michael does have one. That is so true. I never thought of it like that. Whoa. George Michael so does have a Princess Diana haircut. That is such a purr. I love that for him. You go, King. It's always the gays. We always know what we're doing. Just saying. Yeah. Well, back on topic. I am so happy you guys are listening still and are back with me. I am so happy to be making new episodes. There's so many things going on right now. But with schoolwork, with the semester getting closer to the end, winter's coming. That was not on purpose. That was not an on purpose Game of Thrones reference. But I'm just excited because there's so much going to happen this next month and a half, with Christmas starting and seasonal depression in swing. And yeah, we got a lot going on, guys. If you get seasonal depression, stay safe, stay inside, stay warm. I heard that if you like wake up earlier, it helps your seasonal depression, but don't quote me on that because I still have it. And I think the problem is that I refuse to wake up earlier. So I can't tell you if that actually works. I haven't tested it myself, the hypothesis. But if anybody does try it out, let me know if it works, because that would be pretty helpful. I am so excited to actually have my book out. I hope you guys have read it. If not, you guys, I hope you will order it and tell me what you think about it and enjoy it and love it. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry, but I hope you will share it around with your friends and family as well. I'm just so excited to like have this book out and have something that's mine, and also have the podcast that's mine. And please come to the book event if you want to see me. I would love to see you at the book event because I love you guys. I love book events kind of things, and I love having little events where I can see people and hang out with people, and also just like to celebrate something I launched. It's going to be so exciting, especially like from what I've seen of other people's like launch parties and things like that. I'm excited to see how this goes. And it's at the Radical Cat here in Reno, Nevada. It's a feminist bookstore. They are independent, and they also have cats up for adoption. So if you do want to adopt a cat, you can adopt a cat there. So I would really recommend adopting a cat there because they're great people, and I really hope you guys will check out the book event. And if not, that's perfectly fine. You guys can buy my book anywhere. And if you don't want to buy my book at all, thank you for listening to the podcast and letting me spend time with you tonight in your ears and jumping around in your head and your brain cells going wild. So thank you guys so much. Once again, you guys, I say this every episode, but not all the opinions are associated with the Nevada Sagebrush or do not reflect them or the University of Nevada, Reno. They reflect me and my opinion because I'm a purr and I am a vibe, and my opinion is mine, just like how this podcast is mine and this microphone is mine. And that's why I can tap it right now. There you go. See? I can do it. We're getting close to 30 minutes, which is so crazy. I love having 30-minute episodes. It's like a little bit long, but it's not too long. Sometimes it's a little bit too long, I'm not going to lie. I am so excited to just upload this and have it out for you guys and release something more. I don't know. It's fun releasing things all the time. So I always like sharing things, and then people have something new content from me, and then they're like, oh wow, he made something. Anyways, I'm not going to care about it. I do not have a parrot, by the way. That is literally just the kitchen in my apartment. I don't know if you heard that, but I just wanted to say that. Thank you guys for listening to me. Don't stutter. I can't have a stutter during the outro. Come on, be real. That's a reference. Thank you guys so much for listening to the episode. I really appreciate you guys. Don't forget, you can buy the audio for each week's episode, well, this week's episode, on on gabekanae.com/shop, where I also have prints up right now that you can buy. You can buy some prints, some little posters, things like that. But I also have the high resolution audios for you guys, so that way you don't have to hear any compression or you don't have to lose data from my voice when you listen to the podcast on your phone. So thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Stay safe, stay safe this week. Don't slip and fall in the snow. Enjoy the snow. Go do some fun snow stuff. I'll see you guys next week. Bye. Stay safe, stay safe this week. Don't slip and fall in the snow. Enjoy the snow. Go do some fun snow stuff. I'll see you guys next week.